Hey, thanks for pressing play, listener. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, DC and Warner Brothers announce a confusing Aquaman spinoff. Disney gives us our first look at a blue Will Smith in Aladdin.
You blew it!
And Marvel's releasing 4 new animated shows on Hulu, including... Oh, yeah. Just try and get that tune out of your head, listener. Plus, we review the pilot episode of Deadly Class on Sci-Fi and a whole bunch more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, February 14th, 2019.
All right, hurry up, Emron. Start this shit. I got one in the chamber that's ready to fire out.
Check. Check 1. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We talking, we nerding. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we nerding. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We talking, we nerding. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. I'm talking, we nerding. We spoiler alert.
Hey, what's going on, listener? How you doing? Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero, TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And that fantastical frothing felty over there, that's Rug Boy. He's back. Welcome back, Rugs. We missed you. How are you?
Love, exciting, and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. It's fucking Valentine's Day. Put your dick in something.
Oh, yeah. Put it in back and forth.
Yeah.
In the look, for anyone under the age of 35, you probably won't recognize the theme song of The Love Boat. One of my favorite shows growing up.
Went right over my head.
The Love Boat, Anthony, was where all the B-list stars on TV would show up to do guest appearances. I believe, wasn't Mr. T on there once? It just random.
Everybody was on there. Batman,
yes,
everybody.
Adam West, everyone that was somebody and isn't. I love The Love Boat. Thanks for taking me back, Ruggs. And how's the plumbing? How's the slack hole these days?
It's infested.
Oh, good. Just how just how we like it.
I got some mites in there. Dust mites.
Boy, you got to spray it down. If you're a new listener, you may be confused. Ruck Boy is a puppet or a felty American. It's the more
on an audio-only podcast.
Yeah, on an audio-only podcast.
Yeah, who would have thought?
I think there should be more puppets on podcasts. It's a no-brainer. But if you are new, check out our website. Check out the show notes for this episode. jockandnerd.com/261 will take you right there. It'll have links to everything we're going to talk about, how to get in touch with the show, how to support the show, and a whole bunch more. Before we get to the geek news, guys, we have something so exciting. I cannot wait to share this. People in the nation, our Facebook group, don't know this. I was holding on to this. I didn't want to release it until we recorded the show. We have a new celebrity drop. Jock and Nerd. And this one may be one of the best ones yet. I'm just going to play it right here.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and you're listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. Why? I don't know.
Oh my fucking God. Gilbert Gottfried. I love Gilbert Gottfried. This was another...
I immediately knew who that was by the sound of his voice.
Yes. How do you not know Gilbert Gottfried? I've loved it. He's been
Gilbert.
Anthony fucking Iago from Aladdin just said the name of our podcast. How does that make you feel?
I recognize him more from Problem Child.
Oh, yes. He was in the Problem Child.
Or Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. He's been on The Cosby Show. It was a great episode of the early Cosby Show. He's done a lot of voices of superheroes, actually. He's played Mr. Mxyzptlk many times. He was Krang.
He's got one of the best voice. His voice.
It's so great.
I've already heard this voice before, so I didn't laugh on the show, but listening to that the first time, I was cracking up just because it's fucking Gilbert Gottfried mentioning our show.
I played it over and over again. This was presented to us from an anonymous listener via the site we mentioned last episode, cameo.com. Ruggs, you missed us breaking the Andy Dick and the Riff Raff shout outs.
Yeah.
But wow, isn't that site fucking wild? Cameo.com?
Yeah, just weird that you could just pay people to say stuff and they'll say it. And then I don't know what you do with it. I don't know how you capitalize on it, but they'd fucking do it. And the thing that's even weirder is that our listeners are paying these people to say it, hoping that we get some big return with listeners, or we figure out how to capitalize on it. So if anybody knows how to use it, let me know.
Thank you so much.
How do we spin this, listeners?
How can we spin it? Apparently, I have been given on good authority, more are coming, at least 2 more from 2 separate sources.
Really?
Yes. So thank you. You know who you are.
Who would you want to have? Well, did you guys discuss this? I don't know.
No, but I found out Andy Milonakis is on there.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I know that Wesley Snipes is on there.
Snipes is on there. He's very expensive. I think Flavor Flav would be hilarious, even though we're not a hip hop show.
Michael Rappaport's on there.
Rappaport may be. Dick Ritchie may be an issue. Apparently, he rejected our cameo shout outs.
Yeah, I know.
David
Mobley.
Mobley.
Who I would like to.
Yeah.
What's his name? I gotta look him up. Keep talking.
It is. There's dogs on there. There's furries on there. I think we should put Rug Boy on there.
Oh, I know. So here's who I would like to have on there. Ted Levine.
Who's Ted Levine?
It's Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. His fucking voice.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, he was the voice.
How much does Ted Levine go for?
You remember his voice? He's got one of the most distinct voices.
I can't.
Him and dude from 24.
I'd fuck me. Anyway,
that's the guy who tucked his dick between his legs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who?
I do that all the time. I'm doing it right now.
Who from 24?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, Kiefer, is he on there?
Oh yeah, let's get him.
Shit,
I'm trying to think of the most original voices. Ted Levine has definitely got a. He was the guy. Remember Joyride? Have you seen Joyride?
I don't think I've seen Joyride.
Oh, so he had a very he was the truck driver, but he just did the voice.
I wish Pee Wee Herman was on.
I wish Pee Wee would be great. But you're right. Good. The key is to pick people with instantly recognizable voices.
Gilbert Godfrey is up there.
Who else would be? Like Mr. T's dead. Is he dead? No, he's not alive.
Mr. T's alive.
Who else has a voice? Like Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan would be fun.
Randy Macho Man Savage is dead. I would love Randy Macho Man. Step into the Chuck and Nerd podcast.
It's the Chuck and Nerd podcast, brother. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good right there. I think we just got it. That's very good.
You didn't just lie and say that was him.
That's hard.
I think Anthony just blew out his vocal cords.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, again, check out cameo.com. Thank you for these amazing shout outs. There's more coming.
If there's any listeners, like I mentioned earlier, that can figure out a way for us to spin this,
yes, let's figure out how to capitalize.
Yeah, I hate you guys to waste all of your money trying to promote us, and then we don't do anything with it.
All I can do is cut it into the show, and I don't know what else to do with it. So
just give us the money. Don't even just cut out the middleman.
That's the other thing. I wish some of this money you could save and send it over, or
like sending $500 to Wesley Snipes to maybe get us some new listeners, or just give us $500.
Apparently, they can also, like we said, they don't have to do these shout outs. They can reject them, so they're not all as hard up for money as I thought they were.
How much are these? Just on a reg, like
anywhere from $30, $40, $50, $100 to the highest is Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's $999.
Holy shit!
What a fucking asshole that guy is. Why would you pay $999 for
what
Mr.
a capitalist?
Isn't Bella Thorne on there for like $40?
Yeah, some people are. There's some cheap ones.
What about Bela Lugosi?
He's
I
dead.
Don't believe.
Gilbert Gottfried could do Bela Lugosi.
Yes,
and he does an amazing one on Howard Stern all the time. So
that's the next ask.
Gilbert Gottfried's still around doing things?
He was on. So remember we talked about that show, Bumping Mics with Dave Attell and Jeff Ross. He was on an episode of that, and he told a really.
he was great.
Told a really dirty joke. Like when you hear Gilbert tell a dirty joke, it's even better.
I love
you
Gilbert.
Don't expect it. All right, you bastards. Let's get to the news. The Jock and Nerd Podcast. Start with some DC news. Starting with Aquaman, who it's made over $1 billion, and they've now officially started the sequel. It's in the works. This is not surprising. It's going to have one of the writers from the original movie is on board to write the script. So expect more concurrent plot lines and long-winded ways to get to things, I guess. I don't know. That guy this is one guy, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. That's one dude. He's on board. So
what are you talking about?
He's gonna be writing the sequel. He wrote the first one.
Oh, okay.
So look, no surprise they're making a sequel, right? It made $1 billion. Yes, here is the surprising announcement. they are working on a spinoff of The Trench.
Oh, shit.
A Trench movie. Which, to me, this is very, very confusing.
I saw this.
Why would you make this decision? Can anybody explain?
Is it like a horror movie?
That's what they're gonna. So I read about it. They're gonna make kind of a horror style film with The Trench. They're looking to just kind of expand upon this Aquaman universe because
I get it.
There's a lot going on, and they made a ton of money, and this seems like the right thing to do. The Trench? I don't know.
Out of all the fucking things you showed us in that movie, you were picking The Trench to start with? Now, look.
The only thing you can do with that is to create other characters that are revolving around. Because The Trench, those creatures don't talk.
Well, is Aquaman going to be in this movie? Yes, they don't talk.
Isn't Lagan from Young Justice a trench guy that's like half trench, half human?
Possibly.
Maybe
he
they
didn't
can do something like that.
Fully evolve. But for your point, Anthony's correct. They don't talk. So what is this movie going to be about? Now, it was kind of interesting how all the Atlanteans devolved into different things. Like some of them still look like people, and then all the way to these horrific underwater monsters. Maybe they'll explain that. That would be something. And James Wan loves horror, and he spun off, a doll, Annabelle, off of his Conjuring. So I don't know if he's involved. Aquaman's going to be in this. But is this what you would have picked to spin off from the Aquaman movie if you had to pick something?
No.
What would you guys
these creatures were created in 2011. They don't have a very long time frame.
Very recent. Yeah.
What would I have spun off?
Yeah.
I would have maybe done like an Orm redemption tale or something like that.
About Aqualad.
Or Aqualad.
Aqualad would have been good. They didn't really introduce an Aqualad.
What's his name in the show?
Calderon?
Yeah, Calderon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is now the Young Justice is not bad. He's like the full Black Manta in that one, or the full Aquaman. You could do Black Manta, but do you really want to do a villain spinoff? I don't know. I don't know. There was nobody really that I'm like, I kind of want to know more.
Yeah, there wasn't really
about that person.
Other characters I really wanted to see. Maybe Volko. I don't know.
Just when you think they're figuring out where they want to take this fucking franchise, they're like, we're going to do The Trench because we made $1 billion.
They don't know what they're doing.
If it's just like a horror movie with fishmen, it's no big deal. It's like the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, how much can you really mine out of that?
Well, it's not about them. They're just the thing that kills people. Yeah. It's about it'll be about some cruise ship that gets lost in the ocean, and all of a sudden these guys start taking the ship down, and then
the only issue I have with that is how scary can you really make those things when first off we've already seen them, second they're probably completely CGI.
Yeah.
They were pretty scary, though. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie was
the
that
jump scare when they came out.
Yeah, that whole scene, that whole trench scene was fucking awesome.
That scene was great.
Yeah.
But we've seen it.
Yeah.
You're going to build a whole movie
do that
off that
for
one
2
scene?
hours.
But I mean, isn't that what all horror movies are? Everybody's seen the same fucking horror movie. Every time you see Jason die, 1,000.
Yeah.
So.
You know it's going to happen. You know it's coming, but you still want to enjoy it.
You want to watch the whole appeal of the horror movies is watching how creative the slasher is going to kill these characters.
Right.
It's about the cool kills.
I don't know what their Trench is a very that's really out of left field.
Yes. I thought I was
That's the most left field thing out of anything they've ever announced.
Let's see what happens, because DC likes to get everybody all psyched up and then pull the plug.
They like to announce things, and yes, to your point, Ruggs, they're actually working on maybe 5 or 6 things, and they've announced 35 things.
Did you see they've pulled the plug on a Joker sequel?
Yes.
You're going to talk about
We are going to talk about that. But before we get to that, did you see James Cameron's thoughts on Aquaman? The man who's filming all 5 avatars underwater.
Right.
He thought it was great fun, but not realistic enough.
Oh, shit.
Which, look. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. It's totally not realistic.
I simultaneously roll my eyes, but
he's right. He's not wrong.
I also get his point, because in our review, we're even Adam Morris, we're the physics are fucking whack in this movie.
Well, let me quote Matt Delhauer, because I saw this. I found out about this through his Facebook.
Yes, he had a good line, actually.
He did.
Yeah.
So James Cameron put, I never could have made Aquaman, in quotes, because it requires this kind of total dreamlike disconnection from any sense of physics or reality.
Yes.
Says James Cameron, the man who made a movie about aliens that ride dragons by having hair sex with them.
That is a good point, but when they're riding the dragons, the fucking physics works. It makes sense, It adds that much magical realism to the world, whereas they're just being propelled.
I think that
through
what
the water.
James Cameron does is that he balances the fantasy with reality.
Yes.
So it seems more real than when you just have to buy it. You're like, yeah, just go with it. No, you don't have to go with it that much. You go with it a certain degree, but then there's enough realism there. Like, that's kind of like, I don't know how fucking mountains float in the air,
right?
Like they do in Avatar. But
right.
I'm sure he has some kind of explanation as to do with gravity.
My favorite thing from Avatar that he did was the mineral. Remember that mineral that no one could get that they were mining?
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
The best name ever.
It's unobtainable.
I was like, wait, that's what you could come up with? Unobtainium?
Can we get this? Nope, it's unobtainium. Nobody's getting it.
It's shit out of Luckium.
I love that fucking, that's the best name for anything where you can't think of a name. Just call it unobtainium. So yeah, I mean, it's funny that he said this because he did make a movie about giant blue people. But also,
and he's filming 3 sequels.
And he's filming 3 sequels. I also kind of I'm really interested to see what his underwater world is. Because for Avatar, like, he came up with the new plants and animals and he invented all the shit, made sure all the physics worked in its own little thing. So I don't know. It's that balance. You got to have that balance.
What he created in Avatar is what the standard is now for CGI.
Think about this, and I might jump to another spot here.
Yeah,
but it's hard for me not to.
Yeah,
James Cameron.
Yeah,
blue people.
He blew it. Oh boy!
No,
wait.
hang on. Now there's blue people that still don't look good to this day. So his blue people from like 10 years ago look better than the new blue people made by a company with billions of dollars.
That is absolutely correct. And wait, we are going to get to the state of blue characters in the movies in a second.
I mean, you could shit on James Cameron about making comments, but he still does shit that holds up.
You should play that song, I'm blue. I'm a
aliens.
I don't know
the aliens in that video. And they had the dance battle, the aliens or something. I don't remember.
I don't know the lyrics other than I'm blue.
I have never heard that song before.
Did you ever see the video? It's fucking ridiculously bad.
I don't know what that is.
You never seen Eiffel 65?
I don't know. I have no idea.
The song Blue?
Nope.
Oh my God.
Nope. I'll look it up later. Maybe I've heard it.
You've definitely heard that song. That's not an old.
It's not.
That's from like the 90s.
Anthony's going to use it for the beginning of his new show.
Oh, is that the new intro? Maybe we'll use that. I'm blue.
I actually like the music that you chose.
Thank you.
Guess who chose it?
I don't know if you're patronizing me or not, but thank you.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I was like, this feels right.
By the way, guess who chose that fucking music?
Who's that?
It was me.
Well, you gave me 2 options.
I did give him 2 options, yes.
One.
And Anthony liked there was one more laid back and one aggressive trap beat. He picked the aggressive one. Good for him. I like it. Okay, wait. We'll get to the blue people. But first, real quick, Harley Quinn is out of the Suicide Squad, which is the sequel, The Suicide Squad, and they're scrapping all the Jared Leto Joker movies, which is Joker versus Harley Quinn. So she's now just going to be in the Birds of Prey and the Emancipation Proclamation of Harley Quinn, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's fine. Give me all new Suicide Squad members. I mean, do you think Will Smith returns for
I think they're completely rebooting or like getting rid of everything from the old
Well, what they're doing with Harley Quinn is they're rebranding her as a hero and not an anti-hero that needs to be locked up in prison.
That I see.
Or
so that's in love with a
the
psychopath.
Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
I see.
Whatever the fantastical, what is it?
Something like that. The fantastical emancipation of one Harley Quinn or some bullshit.
Yeah, or whatever the dumb name is.
It's a wordy title, WB.
What looks like they're doing, as I agree with Ruggs, they're shifting Harley Quinn away from the abused character that she was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because she was physically beat up.
Yeah.
or tortured. They're making her a hero. She's going to be in the Birds of Prey with that ridiculous title. They're making a new Suicide Squad with potentially James Gunn directing, where it's going to have its own twist.
Yes.
And
pedophile joke.
Oh, shit.
And then Jared Leto's Joker, that's done. He's not coming back.
No, I'm glad.
They're just completely separating themselves from what they do. What was the name of the director?
David Ayer.
David Ayer, whatever he did with Suicide.
I'm happy about the Leto fucking decision because
you know why?
Well, he's Morbius now.
I was just to say
he's Morbius.
Now he can ruin Morbius for you.
Now he looks more like a crackhead vampire.
Morbius can't be ruined.
No,
that's true. No one gives a fuck about Morbius.
It's not like the Joker. He's got worse.
He's
Joker.
a shit character.
Yeah.
Like they can't go in. There's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, but I guess what are you guys saying? That's smart because then she'll have no connection to the Joker like in the comic books. So you can have her.
They could make her full on girl power.
Yes.
You know, hear me roar.
She'll be making her own decisions, in charge of her own fate, whatnot. I like it. Good.
She's all grown up.
She's all grown up. Listener, let us know what you think about Harley Quinn or the Trench spinoff. Does this make sense to you? Join our awesome Facebook group on Facebook. That's why it's called a Facebook group. It's called the Jock and Nerd Nation. It's exclusive. It's closed just for you, listener. It's fun to geek out with everyone else listening to the show. Welcome this week, Pete Matsas. I saw Big Matsas right there. Thanks for joining. And apparently now there will be fantasy baseball in the nation, Anthony.
I'm not participating.
Oh, you're not doing the fantasy baseball? Okay.
No, that if you thought fantasy football was difficult, fantasy baseball is another level. And I didn't even give a shit about the fantasy football. So, no, I'm not participating, but I did say for the winner of fantasy baseball on the Jock and Nerd Nation, we will contribute a t-shirt as well.
Yes, there'll be a prize pack with us and I believe Voice from the Underground, Jason Dutch kind of heading it up. So good luck, everyone. But yeah, sport is bad when there's fucking 138 games in the season.
They're not right. It's 162.
Oh my God, it's more than that. Fuck baseball. Jesus Christ. 162. Why should any of them matter? Just play 8 and call it a fucking day. like football.
Just play 8.
Sometimes
football's 16.
Yeah. Sometimes there's 2 games a day, baseball. What are you doing? Also, big announcement. If you visit our contact page, jockandnerd.com/contact, or you follow us on social media, you will have seen that it's 2019. I've joined the 21st century, and the show is now on Instagram, people.
Jock and Nerd.
At Jock and Nerd, link in the show notes. Give us a follow. I'm going to be repeating this throughout the show. Follow us on Instagram.
You tweet, or you Instagram already way too goddamn much.
Oh, well, we have to have stuff up there for when people come.
Once a day.
It's only
once every other day.
Only like 10
Maybe
things.
You've already you put 8 things out the first day.
Yeah,
and
you
got
to post some naked chicks. That'll get a lot more people.
That'll get clicks. Why did I think of that?
Can we get like a girl, like a hot girl wearing a Jock and Nerd shirt?
Ooh.
Anthony, can you make that happen?
Anthony, make that happen. That's great for the Instagram. I like where you're going, Ruggs.
Oh, that's not a bad
I like
idea.
where you're going. Also, Anthony, Ruggs, I'm going to give you the login. You guys will be able to post stuff from your ends too. So
good.
we'll all have fun.
I'll tell you this. I don't post very much on my Instagram.
Yeah, I have an Instagram. I barely post on it.
The key to Instagram is good pictures.
Yes.
And good hashtags.
Shit ton of hashtags, apparently.
Yeah.
So I know
a lot
some
of
things.
hashtags.
I know some things.
I don't know. We need to get like a 12-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We definitely need to hire a 12-year-old.
We need someone with no pubes to like be our social media.
They are the best social media marketers. Yes. The 11-year-olds.
Did you see the Instagram? An egg got the most views out of anything ever, like more than Kylie Jenner or any of the Jenners or any of the
Really?
Kardashians.
It was all about the hashtags.
It was just an egg. They said, let's make this the most viewed thing. And the dumb people, the little robots did it. You know, they just, okay. And they did
Listen,
it.
if we can raise $250,000, we can get the Kardashian to post something for us.
Like the Fire Festival?
Yes, exactly like the same. Look, you'll learn a lot about marketing from that fucking piece of shit.
We should get like 9 people.
Yes.
To post something.
All
like
at once.
Image.
At the
all
same
at once.
time.
And then as they post it, it forms Rug Boy's penis.
Yes, it's all parts of Rug Boy's penises.
Very small picture.
Rug Boy, you could just post photos of things that resemble your penis. You know,
was it Kendall or Kylie? One of the fucks.
Yeah.
One of the fucking two. We'll get like the upper left scrotum. So they'll get like a little pube hair and a little wrinkle.
Just some
in
felty
their
foreskin.
tile.
Yeah.
In their tile.
Yeah.
One gets some foreskin.
Some lint on my ball.
Yeah. It's all crocheted like a fucking sweater.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. All
My
right.
balls are pretty
We're talking about Rug Boy's
I
penis.
don't know.
My balls was hot.
I think we were talking about Rug Boy's penis. All right, back to the news. We have to address the fact that Disney finally gave us our first good look at Will Smith as the genie and Aladdin.
Oh, no.
And
This broke the internet for a little bit.
Shit. The memes, the jokes are hilarious.
I got a lot to say about this.
Anthony,
but
you want me to
start?
Look, it looks like what I thought it would look like, only way more horrifying for some reason. I don't know how it's possible.
So let me build up to that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this Aladdin movie a little bit after seeing that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of very odd decisions that they've made.
Okay.
first off, I didn't realize it. We probably talked about this a while ago, but I didn't realize it again until we started thinking about this. But Guy Ritchie is directing this.
Shit, Guy Ritchie's directing.
Fucking strange directing choice.
It's a good point.
Like in the last big movie he did, wasn't it that King Arthur movie? And that was a bomb.
Some people like that movie.
It had a cool ending.
Yeah. That movie does have fans.
Does it? It only made...
It's not a good movie, but...
It made less than its budget.
It's not a good movie,
King
but
Arthur,
it had
Legend of the Sword.
A couple of cool things in it. So
he did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. right before.
It wasn't a total, like, shit fest. It was like, there was some cool stuff in there, but it was not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Then seeing these pictures of these sets, I don't know. It's kind of like got this... I don't know if they're going for realism or a dream, but they're kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
And they're not really going all out on either.
It's not committed either way.
It's not committed either way, which brings up to this fucking genie.
Yes. When this started playing, when did they play this? During the Grammys, I believe. I was like, are they going to show it? Are they going to show it? Oh, shit, here it comes. And then I was like, what happened?
Oh, shit.
What is this?
Which brings me to the genie.
Yes.
Who everyone was complaining in the preview pictures was, he's not blue.
Yeah.
I almost wish they would have just kept him Will Smith at this point because
they blew it all right.
This is another one of those where it doesn't show. They're not fully committed to the CGI, but they're not fully committed to having it be Will Smith either.
Yeah.
So he's just this blown up, like movie, like stop motion animation genie. I don't even know how to explain the way he moves. It doesn't look real at all.
Ruggs, is this?
That's a big fuck up right there.
He looks like the dude he looks like that internet meme of the guy with the fucking gigantic neck.
His neck is so huge and his shoulders and it just doesn't fit. I'm
curious to hear what Ruggs thinks about this.
There's just, you know what it is? It's too close to Will Smith.
Yes, that's all you can see.
So it just hits it right in the uncanny valley. So the uncanny valley is when something's too close to something, but it's off. It's way more noticeable than when something is like further from reality. So if you look at Avatar, right? And James Cameron's a genius. He made them in different proportions, so it's different than an actual human, so it seems more real.
Yes, because there's nothing to compare it to.
Like, these are aliens.
Yes.
And he changed the noses too slightly. Yeah.
So he basically, it's far enough from a human that you don't get that uncanny valley thing. With this, it's too close to Will Smith, but it's not right.
Yeah.
So it looks like something bad, like something out of like Polar Express or fucking the Beowulf movie that Zemeckis did. Like,
right.
When the technology wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the reasons why Thanos works so well is because it looks like Josh Brolin, but it's not Josh Brolin's proportions in any stretch of the imagination.
That's a
That's a good point.
That's a perfect analogy because that looks amazing, but you buy the character.
There's no way Thanos could be an actual human being.
But he looks.
There's no fucking way.
Right.
Like all of his proportions are different.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing close to human about it.
You know, had they tried to maybe like make him look more like the cartoon or stretch his head or more of a character, it might have worked. But if you still look at the Avatar blue characters, the rendering on them, the design is fucking amazing. Like, this movie that came out almost 20 years ago, the graphic, the CGI is amazing. Disney, what the fuck are you doing?
Would it look more realistic if they just painted Will Smith blue?
See, I don't know. I don't know if that would,
well, they could, the thing is they could paint him blue and then add post-production to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like make it seem like he's missed, like with some graphics, you know, like they could do a lot with that. So they could use him and kind of make him look like he's ethereal.
God, it looks so weird.
Like Watchmen is a little bit dubious sometimes.
Yeah, let's talk about blue characters. We have everything from, but the Watchmen looked pretty good. That was believable because it was just, human proportions.
Mm-hmm.
You have probably my favorite is the nearly naked Rebecca Romaine Stamos as Mystique. Come on.
But that's full practical.
That's practical. But there is a history of blue characters in general.
A lot of
there's Smurfs, there's the Nightcrawlers, there's Beast, there's the guy from Monsters Inc. Yondu. Yondu's blue.
Yondu.
So like, would it have
those
been
are
better?
a lot of those other than
Nebula.
A lot of those are practical, like real effects.
Yeah.
Or it looks like they took Will Smith and then CGI'd him
on a different body.
But then they like stretched his body and made him like kind of fat.
Yeah.
And like, like if you look at the promo piece from Entertainment Weekly, and then you look at the still of him as the genie, his face is wider, his neck is wider.
Yeah.
And the ponytail looks like it's just sitting on top of his head, like as if they added that, which they did.
Yeah. It's just not working, Disney. The fucking jokes that came up are hilarious. Daniel Nosker posted this meme of the genie and Weasel, TJ Miller's character from Deadpool, going, "You look like Thanos fucked the Happy Smurf." That's a good one. That's Lenny Romero said, "Are we sure M. Night isn't directing this?" Blake Braden says, "It's really nice to see Tobias Funk finally make it in Hollywood." That's a big one. That's the Arrested Development joke.
Oh yeah, that was when he's blue.
Yes, he was trying out for the Blue Man Group.
Blue Man Group. Yeah, you're right.
Matthew Lawrence said, "This is going to be the Green Lantern of Disney live action remakes." Let me ask you this: do you think this will be their first big fuck up, their first misstep in terms of this movie making money?
Who knows?
I think it'll make money. I think it could be a huge bomb, though, in terms of critically and even like what they're expecting.
Just because Will Smith looks weird?
Not only that, I think the Guy Ritchie thing is fucking weird for me.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie is a little bit of a risk. And
just seeing the promos and all that stuff, none of it is looking exciting for me. I don't know.
Get a geek boner?
No,
because, like
boner.
Not like like when we saw the promos for the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's crazy.
Even that little.
I just saw the preview for Frozen.
Yeah,
that gave me a geek boner. And I hate Frozen.
Yeah, I didn't watch that because I don't care about Frozen.
Even like Beauty and the Beast is like, whoa, that looks crazy. This is again, it's stuck between like a real live action place, but then also this fantasy.
Yeah.
And it's not sure what it is.
Look, I hope it bombs so they rethink about all these remakes, because honestly, Disney, stop with the fucking remakes. How about you make something new?
You've got 3 this year. You got Dumbo, Aladdin, and
oh Jesus!
Yeah, but Dumbo looks great.
Dumbo looks fantastic.
That's Tim Burton. So look, the Favreau, the Burton, it really relies on the director. I think the quality of the movie. So
yeah, I can't see Ritchie doing. I
don't think Guy Ritchie can pull this off.
Fantastic big movie like this.
This is a beloved film for many, many people. This is going to make people mad if they can fuck this up.
Not all the Disney movies have done well live action. The Cinderella one didn't do that well.
Yeah.
I like that one though.
Yeah.
The Maleficent one was all right.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't remember that one that much.
The whatchamacallit, Beauty and the Beast got very mixed reviews.
Yeah, that's true also. So
Jungle Book was good though. Everyone liked that apparently.
So it's not gonna stop them. They're making a lot of money. I did want to mention. Did you know all the movies that Will Smith fucking passed on that would have had Will Smith? There's some surprising choices in here. The Matrix. He was offered the part in The Matrix and he turned it down.
What, as Morbius?
As
Morbius.
Morpheus,
right?
as Morpheus. Yes.
Morpheus.
Or maybe no. He was offered Neo.
Really?
Yes, he was offered in 2004. He said he had no regrets. Also, this one I found surprising, Django Unchained. He could have had the title role in Django Unchained. Passed on that.
That would have been great for him.
Passed on Superman Returns.
Didn't he have a thing where he didn't want to do R-rated films or something?
Oh, maybe.
Or is that maybe just not swearing?
A lot of these are R-rated movies that he passed on. So
didn't he swear a lot in Bad Boys though?
Oh yeah, and they're doing a third one of those. He'll do that.
He never used to swear in his rap songs.
No, he was a clean rapper, and then he had the show. So he had an image. And even afterwards,
he's very selective about his roles.
Yeah.
Lately, his roles haven't been good though.
No, it's tough when you have some missteps.
Nah, he was killing it for a while.
Yeah.
He was a little. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He was. You could guarantee he was a walking blockbuster in and of himself.
I liked him in Hancock. I thought didn't he swear in Hancock?
Yeah, and he was a badass in that one with the where he's the last man alive.
Oh,
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend was very good.
I liked I Am Legend.
I liked that one too. That was good.
His career started to go.
I liked iRobot's good too.
When he did After Earth.
Yes, that was it
with his son. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, it's all M. Night's fault.
There was a lot of bad things going on there.
That was a cocktail for disaster.
But then he had an amazing role in that movie Happiness, also with a young Jaden Smith, and it's a great dramatic role. Like he sells it. He's really good in that movie, and there's no action, there's no fight scenes. It's just him acting his ass off.
What about have you seen Bright on Netflix?
Bright wasn't bad. He was good in that.
That got panned.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You didn't see it yet? You should watch it.
I haven't seen it.
I saw it. It was all right. I want to go back and see it.
There's going to be a sequel. It's fine. You can catch up on the sequel. All right, moving on. Captain Marvel will be coming out very shortly.
Right.
March 8th.
What, a month?
Yeah, less than a month. 3 weeks. They got this thing estimated to open over the 5-day opening $100 million. And these numbers keep changing because I thought it was like 160 or 140.
Yeah, I think you've announced a different number every time.
And now they're saying early industry estimates are $100 million. But this makes more sense because no origin MCU movie has made more than $100 million outside of Iron Man and Black Panther. So your Doctor Strange, your Guardians of the Galaxy, they've all made under 100 opening weekend. So I think if it could break that, that's a good start. I asked Ruggs, let me ask you this. I asked Anthony last week, will this movie, give it another $1 billion movie like Black Panther leading into Endgame?
Captain Marvel make $1 billion?
Yes, will it make $1 billion?
No.
Not even close?
Maybe. I mean, I think if it breaks 800, I'll be surprised. But, I mean, it'll get close.
I mean, it's not gonna. Black Panther's again opening weekend of Black Panther, $202 million. So it's not doing that.
I think that the additional 60 or 70 million people that went to see Black Panther are not going to go see this. So you just minus.
That's a good point.
70 million people.
That's a good point.
From what Black Panther made, and what did Black Panther make? $1 billion.
Yeah, 1.2 billion, something like that. Over $1 billion.
That's 200. That's 200 million right there.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe just they could get close.
They'll make it up on Avengers Endgame. Brie Larson, we're gonna be seeing a lot of her as Captain Marvel. She has signed a 7-picture deal.
Wow.
With the Marvel Studios. So
that's a lot of movies.
So 2. She's already done 2. There's 5 more. So Captain Marvel
have to
Endgame.
assume she gets her own trilogy. Barring
yes.
catastrophe at the box office.
And then maybe, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then she gets in probably 2 other Avengers films or, cameo in one film.
Here or there.
Yeah.
She's getting paid $5 million for Captain Marvel.
She's a star. That's a big star now.
That is a great payday, and I love that she's getting this money. It's 10 times what Robert Downey Jr. got for Iron Man in 2008, and $3 million more than what Chadwick Boseman got for Black Panther, even though he already was Black Panther once in Civil War. That's amazing. That is a nice payday for Brie Larson, getting ready to take over the fucking MCU. I think she's going to be the next captain. She's our captain now.
She might be the new face.
She's our captain now. Have you guys checked out the website for Captain Marvel? This is kind of amazing and lots of fun.
What's the web? CaptainMarvel.com?
Click marvel.com/Captain Marvel. Link in the show notes. It is a straight up GeoCity site from the mid-90s, full with animated GIFs, visitor counter.
Jesus Christ.
Stupid little sprites. It's amazing. It totally takes you back. Look, for kids listening to this, if you weren't alive in 1995,
this is what websites used to look like.
This is what we had to deal with. Absolutely. Look at this fucking site. There's a cave there. There's a couple of Easter eggs. That old Skrull lady that she punches in that trailer keeps popping her head out from different sides. There's GIFs of the cat. It's quite phenomenal. I love it. Like on the guest book, the first comment is all your base belong to us. Ruggs, remember that? Remember that fucking meme?
Yeah.
All your base.
That's from a video game.
Yeah, it was a huge
fucking
thing.
Crazy. This takes me back.
Yes, it's amazing. Anthony, you remember these sites? How old were you?
Oh, I do.
When this was would have been.
When did the internet become prominent?
So I'm gonna say like 95, mid 90s.
I would say, but everybody started really using it. Like it wasn't ubiquitous because people didn't know how to get on it, and internet connections were dog shit. It wasn't until like 56K became a thing.
Yeah. So what year would you say?
I'm going to say 98.
Yeah, I was around. I was 11 years old, 10 years old, so I was starting to get on. Now, I wasn't using the internet, but I was starting to get familiar with. I remember the coolest thing was my cousin had the internet, and he went on to www.nba.com. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
You could find all this basketball stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember the websites looking like this.
I just remember when you had to when you watched porn.
Yes,
like
very slow.
The windows were tiny because they couldn't run video. Like the video had to be like the size of a quarter.
Yes, it was
for it to
very
run.
pixelated,
and it was on that QuickTime or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was just like
there was Real Player, there was
HD.
QuickTime. Yes, it was so slow. You would just wait for it to go.
This reminds me of like the website you first tried to create when you make your own website.
Yes, also that
like your GeoCities or something.
These were the you would click a porn video and then you'd be like, I'm gonna go mow the lawn. I'll be back. It should be loaded up by then. And then 3 hours later, it was ready.
Horrible.
Yes, and it was really.
Horrible.
You're like, is that even a boob?
You guys don't know how good you have it, people.
Listen, you kids,
you young
the prominence of the internet started when I discovered Napster. I was like, oh, you could download things.
The Napster days.
Use it.
Yeah.
And then you found out you could download other things, like someone getting their head cut off or some shit.
You could find a lot of things. I was more of a LimeWire Kazaa guy myself. I never did the Napster.
Napster was the predecessor.
LimeWire was my weapon of choice for a long time.
No, there's a great documentary on the National Geographic Channel. It's like a fictional show, but mixed in with real footage of. It's called Valley of the Boom, and it's the rise of the browser wars between Netscape Navigator and the globe.com.
Netscape.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's about the creation of Navigator. And really, those people, there are like Firefox is still Mozilla. Like they built this infrastructure really early and we're still using it. So they got bought by AOL, but if they hadn't done that, we wouldn't have the browser the way it is. But look, check out this website if you wanted to know what it was like back in the day, what we had to go through, how much better it is now. It's fantastic. I love that they did this.
Ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
It's really good.
All right, let's move on to some streaming news on Marvel. Marvel has announced they're doing a bunch of adult animated series on Hulu because now that the Fox deal is going to go through probably in a month or two, next month, this spring, they have controlling stake in Hulu. And it sounds like this is where they're going to put their more adult stuff, their more R-rated stuff. Yes, you said that last week.
Not last week, but no, I'm saying
in general, yes, and that it makes a lot of sense because, and you know, the other thing that's just smacking us in the face is the app is called Disney Plus. Why would Disney put anything that's like a violent or offensive under something that says Disney Plus on it?
So it would be like it'd be like a dark Marvel imprint, like a Marvel Max or something.
It would be what they were doing on Netflix on Hulu. But check out these shows and what they're doing. This is crazy. There's going to be 4 shows. They're Marvel's MODOK, Marvel's Hit Monkey, Tigra and Dazzler, and Howard the Duck. All those series will culminate in a special titled Marvel's The Offenders, which is a little dig, I would think, on Netflix and The Defenders. So look here. This
sounds horrible.
You don't like any of this? I don't know who Hit Monkey is.
It sounds like dog shit. It sounds like dog shit wrapped in other dog shit, and then cat shit, and then wrapped in some more turtle shit.
Well, look,
do you think it's them getting their shit together and putting it in all a bag so it's all together?
Maybe.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together.
Well, let's talk about who's.
Let's go one by one and let me shit on all of
right,
these.
MODOK. If you guys know the character of MODOK,
I know MODOK.
Yeah, it's that big head with no body, egomaniacal supervillain that floats around, struggles to maintain control of his evil organization and his demanding family. This is being written by Jordan Blum and Patton Oswalt, and who will also executive produce along with Jeff Leb. So you got Patton Oswalt on MODOK, Ruggs. Does that help?
Right. So it's a comedy.
Yes.
Okay.
Hit Monkey. I don't know the Hit Monkey. Apparently, he's like an assassin. Hit Monkey tells the tale of a wronged Japanese snow monkey mentored by the ghost of an American assassin as he cuts a wide swath through the Tokyo underworld in this darkly cinematic and brutally funny revenge saga.
These are all animated shows.
These are animated shows. But Tigra and Dazzler, It's about two woke superheroes and best friends, Tyler and
You lost me right there.
Tigra and Dazzler, as they fight for recognition among power people who make up the 8 million stories in Los Angeles. Chelsea Handler serving as executive
I'm out.
producer. Even
Bye-bye.
You know what's interesting about
you
this
guys
one?
later.
There's an X-Men in this show. Is this the first signs of like the Fox and Marvel thing coming together? Dazzler is an
like that's a
X-Man.
character that needs her due, and now they're just fucking putting her in a fucking woke.
They're woke. Will this
woke
be in the
stories of
70s? They can't be woke in the 70s.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And then
This sounds
finally,
wrong.
all right, there's one last one. Trapped in a world he never made, but America's favorite fighting fowl hopes to return home with the help of his unstoppable gal pal Beverly, just like in the movie, before the evil Dr. Bong. I like that. Dr. Bong can turn him the crispiest dish on the menu. Writers Kevin Smith and Dave Willis. Kevin Smith writing Howard the Duck. Ruggs, comment.
That could be slightly interesting.
This could be a fun R-rated, really offensive.
I don't know if I would watch it though. Like, even though it sounds good, I don't know if I would watch. It's not my bag, really.
Raunchy Howard the Duck, and then they're all going to join together
Like,
for the
I don't
offenders. The offenders. Anthony, any of these getting you pumped?
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
What happened to the other one? The other clip?
Oh, this one?
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
See, you like the shows.
Yeah, I like both of them. There you go.
I like all of them.
I like all four of them.
You like all the shows?
No, none of them appeal to me, but it seems like they're going for more of a comedy angle or a comedy bizarre weird angle with all four of these.
Yeah.
So it might be clever. I don't know.
Could be fun.
Yeah, it's just not my bag. It's not like what I want to watch.
Well, it is true. Nobody really asked for any of these, but MODOK, I've always wanted to see MODOK in something more because he's just weird, and I like looking at the big head.
Howard the Duck will probably be
Howard the Duck would be
gonna
fun.
get the most eyes.
Yeah.
The offenders. That's strange.
Yeah.
It
Them
just sounds
coming
like
together.
some bullshit.
Like they may be swearing. This may be R-rated. Like some of the.
I'd
they said it
rather
was
see
adult.
I'd rather see this the what you have on the bottom line right there.
Well, Hulu also has said they are open to reviving Daredevil and maybe Luke Cage. Oh,
dude, I would tune in just for that. That's like that's a sure shot. That is like a lock.
That would be amazing.
If Hulu gets those things on there,
Yes.
I would probably start paying for Hulu.
Oh,
I mean, I
snap.
have access to Hulu but
Just
I
for
don't pay it.
Daredevil. Yeah.
Yes, just bring Daredevil.
That's Daredevil brought me over to Netflix. So
I mean, this would be great. Now we talked about how in the contract they have to wait 2 years before bringing these shows back once they're over. So if you could still get Charlie Cox to come back and do an even darker Daredevil, like you push it even more.
They should just film it now and release it later.
Oh shit, that's a good point. That is a
like before he gets too like butthurt. Like
yeah,
go and do
we're
it.
like, oh, I can't believe. So there, Hulu already has Runaways, Marvel's Runaways. So that's in conjunction with Marvel Studios, and this would be great if this rumor turns out to be true.
Hey, let's get Hulu for the show. Let's get it.
Look, if they put it on there, they need to, especially at Disney being controlled, they need to compete with the Netflix. Netflix is going all in on the Mark Millar stuff and a bunch of other comic book properties, such as, let's just get into the next thing. Out now, listener, if you want some fun stuff to watch by the time the show posts, Umbrella Academy will be out on Netflix. That's the Gerard Way comic book. And right now it's sitting on 72% on Rotten Tomatoes for the Umbrella Academy. This is like a dark, weird X-Men TV show. I'm excited for this. Of course, the whole season be out.
And then what else is there? Like a dark X-Men show.
Then another dark X-Men show, which is literally what the X-Men ripped off, or they ripped off the X-Men. I forget who came first on the DC Universe. Doom Patrol will have started new episodes every Friday.
They were before the X-Men.
But it was literally like a month apart.
Yeah, but mutants are completely different than Doom Patrol.
Right.
Yeah, but it's
the concept of mutants.
The concept of a guy in a wheelchair leading a freak bunch of people who are outcasts from society is similar in the both. But I believe they came out a month apart. Like it was that close. Back in the 60s. Doom Patrol is sitting at 93%.
Oh, shit.
On Rotten Tomatoes. There is an extended trailer I sent you guys. Did you guys get a chance to watch this?
I watched it.
It looks interesting.
I think this looks really
cool. I was
cool.
actually pleasantly surprised as well.
Right? I like that you get to see a cyborg in there There is a sense of a weirdness.
I do feel like there's an issue with two guys in the show not being able to emote at all.
Well, Negative Man has his face covered, and Robot Man, Brendan Fraser, who you see in flashbacks, his face doesn't move at all.
Yeah, there should be. I wish there was like even just something like in the lights of his eyes or something that would move and emote a little bit.
His eyes might flicker. What'd you think of the cyborg?
Which cyborg?
The Doom Patrol cyborg.
It looked okay.
Oh, Robot Man?
No, actual Vic Stone
Victor
cyborg.
Stone.
Oh,
he was
Victor
in it.
Stone. Oh, this was a robot guy, and there's another robot guy.
And there's a cyborg guy.
That's an interesting choice to put both of those characters.
That's
yeah,
true.
it's weird.
Why would they do that?
I mean, they're kind of different character types.
Not really. They're both becoming human.
Yeah. The most intriguing character for me was Robot Man.
Yeah, this trailer is cool.
I like the trailer did a good job of highlighting characters that I really didn't know much about.
It kind of gives you all their origins real quick, and you see, Robot Man was in a car crash, and there's other accidents that have made these people, and you see Vic Stone's kind of transformation. I like kind of the body horror vibe, especially with Elastigirl, who just becomes like a globby mess that looks fucking freaky.
It does.
And I think this looks really good. Like, I'm pretty excited for both of these.
I was pleasantly surprised by that trailer. I was like, oh, this might actually be something.
I was like, I might watch this.
Yeah.
I agreed. I consider watching.
It's clearly it's getting solid reviews.
I hate that they fucking still do release everything.
It's going to be every Friday starting tomorrow as we record, but it'll be out by the time you're listening to this, listener. We'll check out the first episodes. We'll give you our thoughts, so you know if it's worth it. But both of these shows, I'm fairly excited, and we will take a quick break right here, guys. We're talking about another new show, Deadly Class review, and a bunch more news from the nation right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Brian.
And it's Tony.
From the Salty Language Podcast. Two friends that have been around each other for, 70 years or something, and...
We're like a married couple that you hate.
Yeah, basically something like that. We talk about, just weird news, stuff that happens in our life, pop culture, really anything. We just have a nice conversation and make up stuff along the way. You can find us at saltylanguage.com.
For sure. And I'm really fine.
Well, also, you can find us on dangerentertainment.net.
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.net, in case you missed it the first time.
Hey, my name's Paul, and I'm not an animal expert.
I'm Donna, and I'm not an animal expert either.
And together we do a podcast about animals called Varmints.
Every week we pick an animal, do a bunch of research on it, and bring you some interesting facts about that animal.
But we don't stop there. We talk about that animal in movies, TV, and other pop culture.
And we talk about whether or not that animal would make a tasty dish, and how intelligent we think it is on the scale of 1 to 10.
It's exactly like one of those fancy PBS nature documentaries.
Except with more poo jokes.
New episodes go live every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Or you can visit us at blazingcariboustudios.com.
Varmints! Varmints!
And hey, listener, if you've been enjoying the show, you want to support the show, and you want more show, join our fan club on Patreon. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. You'll be helping support the show, and you will get access to a bonus podcast feed.
Geek Boner.
A whole nother feed just for our supporters, where there's bonus shows, instant reactions, post shows, and early access to every episode that comes out in our feed, which is now 2 shows, the Jock and Nerd podcast and the Spinoff show by Anthony. We will get to that later in the show. We'll talk about the Spinoff show.
Let me also plug another thing for Patreon. There are a number of you listeners that have contributed to the tier where you get to pick a movie for us to review.
Yes.
We will be getting to those. Some of those will be on the main show, but a lot of those will live on Patreon. So you'll hear extra movie reviews.
We haven't forgotten about you, supporters. You're going to get it. But we had a lot of...
And let me give a special shout out.
Yes.
Tane Reese.
Yes.
We will have you on for trivia at some point.
Oh, that comes up later, too. We're working on it.
We're working on that, bud.
This week, I got a lot of activity on the Patreon. First of all, super huge shout out to Mantel Howard.
Jock and Nerd.
for increasing his pledge to $5 a month.
Whoa!
Speaking of Matt,
yes,
he's on the next spinoff show.
There's the tease. You will hear more from Mr. the Ginger Geek himself. And also, super huge thank you to 3 new patrons.
Oh, shit.
Miguel Martinez, Jose Gonzalez, and Ralph Bravo all signed up for Rug Boy Approved tier, $5 a month.
Rug Boy Approved. Whoa.
You are all Rug Boy Approved. We can't.
Bravo.
Bravo, Ralph.
Yeah,
Bravo.
that deserves a clap.
Not only that, we have to thank our other listeners because Jose posted, after always being asked by the homie Roberto Rivera to sign up for the Jock and Nerd Patreon, had to do it in front of him so I wouldn't forget.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. Thank you, Roberto Rivera, for bugging your friend.
Wow. What? Be an asshole for us.
This is what happens. Everyone, bug your fucking friends to give us money. We'll love you forever. And just like Anthony said, if you sign up for $10 a month, that is the tier where you can force Anthony to watch whatever god-awful movie that he's not interested in.
He'll eventually watch it.
We will force him to watch it. We will review it. It's a great tier. Jose Barros had picked a movie. His pick was Serenity, right? However, after listening to last week's show, he has changed his pick.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Here's what he said. Finally getting a chance to listen to this week's episode. I'm not easily offended, but Anthony made a very controversial statement. Warwick Davis is most known for his role as Leprechaun? How dare you not give Willow its due? Imran, why aren't you checking your boy? Just for that, I'm making you guys review it for my Patreon pick.
Talking nerd.
So
Done.
now,
I love that movie.
Willow's a great movie. And Anthony, are you familiar with Willow?
As I put on the face of the nation, the fuck is a willow?
You know, I blanked on the name of the movie when he said that because I was like, no, Warwick Davis is known for Willow and other things. He's been on like a TV show. He had his own little show.
Right. But Val Kilmer is a swashbuckling dude. And Warwick Davis is his like little dwarf dude
sidekick.
that he's sidekick, and they have to save this baby from an evil witch.
I haven't seen this movie in years, and I'm excited to watch it again. And I can't wait for Anthony to watch it for the first time.
I think Ron Howard directed.
I think it is a Ron Howard movie. It's a great fantasy adventure movie. Like for when you were a kid, I loved it. But there you go. We'll be reviewing Willow on the Patreon, so definitely sign up for that, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Let's get into our review. We're going to take a look at the pilot episode of the new show called Deadly Class on Sci-Fi. Here's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This show is based on an Image comic book called Deadly Class by Rick Remender, Lee Loffridge, and Wes Craig. Now, the cool thing is, Remender writing the show and show running the show of his own thing, which is, I love it. I love that the original creator is involved in this show. There's about 4 or 5 episodes out now. I've seen about 4 of them. But Anthony, let's start with you.
Wait, you watched 4 of them?
I watched like 4 of them. I kept watching.
So you like this show?
It did get me hooked on the characters. I wanted to find out what was going to happen. I did enjoy it, which is funny because Rotten Tomatoes has this at 57%. So it's right in the middle. It's no Doom Patrol,
but
apparently.
They know.
Yeah. So, but yes, I did enjoy the show. I want to know, Anthony, let's start with you. What'd you think?
Let me give you just a little brief thought process or a brief synopsis of what my brain was like thinking about watching this.
Okay.
First off, Imran tells us to watch this. I'm like, fuck. I had to watch some bullshit that I don't want to watch. Then I may learn it's on Sci-Fi. Double fuck.
Fuck that show.
I have this stigmatism of Sci-Fi just being an awful channel for TV.
And it does have this kind of stink on it, but they're kind of changing it a little.
I've heard that they're changing it, but I still can't get over the fact that they regularly show Sharknado.
Home of Sharknadoes, 5 of them, yeah.
So that was my mindset going in. At first, I was watching the show, and I was like, this is kind of, I don't really like this. I'm going to look at my phone. But I was trying to pay attention. About midway through, though, when he gets into the school, and he's getting threatened by the gang, the Latino gang.
Yeah, Sotovatos.
I kind of got hooked.
So
by the end of it, I was like, I could see myself watching another episode of this. I kind of want to see what happens to this kid. I like the 2 female interests he has. I like the fact that the black dude, I don't know his name, sorry, so he's the black dude, is putting on a front and he's actually just really fucking scared. And I like the concept of a
Willie. That was Willie.
I like the concept of a school for all the thugs and deadly assassins out there for their kids.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. For the listener, basically the setup is it's 1987 and we're following a character who gets called into a school for assassins, a high school for assassins. So what I kind of loved about it was you had all your typical high school drama TV tropes, but there was a little twist because these are all sociopaths. Ruggs, what'd you think of this first episode?
I enjoyed it. I thought there was a little bit of a little tropey here and there, a little bit like, played out things, but like almost like a CW show.
Right.
But there's an air about it that makes it better. Like, number one, cinematography is outstanding.
Yeah, it's shot well.
It looks like a film.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a TV show. It looks like a Marvel film. It looks like a well-directed film. The music's
amazing.
Is 80s music.
Yes.
Is 80s, a lot of it is 80s new wave, which I love.
You got Echo and the Bunnymen, Killing Joke, The Damned.
I was loving it all.
The music's great.
And I was like, wow, these are some good picks for music. And so it really was in the 80s vibe for me. And I love that. So I was like in because of that. Not necessarily of what was transpiring with the story, but because like it just seemed like it was a cut above the normal stuff that we're seeing in these network shows.
I mean, you have standout cast members like Benedict Wong, Henry Rollins, and they're both pretty good. They're both pretty great in this. I like seeing Benedict Wong.
Benedict Wong is good. Yes.
If it ain't Wong, it ain't white.
Benedict Wong adds a little bit of credibility to it. And you're right. I wasn't picking that up as I was watching it, but I did notice that it was different, that the feel was not so CW-y or even definitely not sci-fi level.
Right. Beyond sci-fi.
And you're right.
Yeah.
The production on it was very well done.
This is something like you'd see on a Netflix. It's that quality.
Almost Netflix.
I wouldn't say it was quite Netflix level.
I didn't have it that level, but it was close enough where I'm like, this is. I could. Whenever you watch this, going back to like CW shows, whenever you watch CW shows, you're like, I like this, but I can't really recommend this to anybody. Like, I remember showing some girl that I was dating at the time the first episode of Arrow.
Yeah.
And we were watching it together, and she was like, this sucks. Like, this quality of this sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're kind of right. It does suck. But I like it.
This one,
this I could actually like recommend to someone and not feel ashamed of the production value.
Yeah, it is well done, and so it should be noticed.
I mean, it's interesting how everyone is like, you got to remember, everyone's a killer. This is a cutthroat school. This is a school where their homework at the end of the first episode was go out, find someone who deserves to die, and kill them. Burn the body, get rid of the evidence, and bring me proof. I was like, what the fuck? This is fucking crazy. I love also the flashbacks of the character is done in animation, and it's in the style of the comic. I haven't read the comic, but I think I might check it out because I like the story. And like I said, I've watched the first 4 episodes. So every episode, one of the characters gets a flashback, and you find out, how they got this reputation of being a killer. And the flashbacks are animated like the comic. It's very cool. What did you guys think of the cliques? I really love the cliques in this high school because, every high school's got cliques except this one. It's wacky. You got the preps who are like trust fund children of CIA agents and FBI agents.
That's awesome.
One group, right? You got the Kuraki Syndicate. These are the Yakuza kids. The Dixie Mob are like the fucking redneck swastika white supremacist shit kickers. And then you have the Sotovatos, which is like the Latin gang. And then Willie is part of, I forgot what they're called, the New World Order, which is like the South Central gang. And that twist on him being a pacifist was pretty good. I didn't see that coming. I totally love that.
And then what's the name of the main character?
The main character is Marcus, and he gets pulled in because apparently at the foster home he was in, he blew it up with a bomb. But I don't really know if he is a killer. That's kind of the mystery that's going to be revealed.
Well, he is a killer.
He is a killer, Well, now he
Kills
is.
the guy.
He kills the homeless guy, Rory. But that's only because Willie fucking pussed out and that it needed to be done. But dude, the show gets really dark and violent, and it's surprising, and they're swearing. So I love the tone of it.
Drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
I love the clicks. To me, the most intriguing part is the fact that this is a school for deadly people, and he is just some kid picked up off the street that doesn't belong to anything.
Yeah.
And yet he has this rep as being this deadly person.
Yeah.
But he's a loser because he didn't come from a prestigious killer family.
Right. Didn't come. And so it's a great twist. So their group is called the Rats, the people who aren't in a group. And I kind of love this fucked up, outcast group of students in the Rats. But they do the same things the high school kids do, only you might actually get stabbed and die.
I got one question though, Fran.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're continuing to watch, you'll answer and spoil it. But just based off this first episode, the one thing that was confusing for me was Benedict Wong's character is motivated because his family got screwed, right?
Oh, right. Like
his family, he's doing this for a noble cause.
Yeah.
At least that's the vibe I get. So then if he's running the school and doing all of this for a noble cause, why is he letting in all these criminals' sons and daughters?
That's a good point. Maybe he thinks he can.
Because these are all bad people, right?
These are all bad people, which it kind of
except the dude. I mean, his teaching is kill someone tonight that deserves it.
That deserves it.
It wasn't like a random person. It's so he's motivated by doing the right thing. At least that's what it seems by this first episode. Yet everyone in the school except the main character seems to be motivated by the exact wrong things.
I wonder if he's trying to channel that and actually have
twist
him,
it?
or have him
change
kill
them at an
people.
early age.
Yeah, have him kill people who deserve it. He sees the potential. He's like, you are here because you are all killers. The potential's there. You need someone to mold you. But that's a good question because there's a lot of fucked up people learning about poison and how to build bombs and shit. Apparently, Lee Harvey Oswald went to this school. You see his rifle, class of 57. So there's awesome little touches like that in this show that I love.
Well, I guess you're not supposed to take the show seriously. You're supposed to be like, okay, this is definitely some made up bullshit.
Right. What kind of a world is this?
Yeah, it's not a real world.
The whole premise being that his kill is going to be Ronald Reagan.
I like it. That's
actually
great. It's far-fetched.
It's like a black comedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you learn in this first episode, his tragic backstory is it's pretty fucked up because of Ronald Reagan cutting funds to the mental health departments. They let all the crazy people out, and a crazy person jumped off that tower and landed on his parents.
Oh, shit.
In front of him. He watched them get squished by a whack job. I was like, oh shit, dude, that's messed up. And each of these characters kind of have a similar messed up. Like the next episode, you see Willie's flashback backstory. What set him off? It's pretty good.
I might continue this. I might wait till it's all out.
Yeah.
Because the problem when I was trying to follow Cloak and Dagger on a weekly basis is I'm so fucking used to binging shit that for me to follow something on a weekly basis, I forget what happens.
I will go back and binge that. That's really good. But that's a good point. I think there's 5 episodes out.
Can you imagine there was a time when we had to watch things on a weekly basis?
Yes, I used to take notes on every episode.
But yet you watched a lot less things.
That's true.
There was, when we started, there was maybe 4 or 5 shows. Literally, now there's 40.
You could literally binge in a month 5 or 6 shows.
You could watch all of them. Yes, and you could keep up.
You're absolutely right. I've binged 4 seasons of Narcos in less than a month.
I finished the first season. I started the second season.
That would have taken it back in the day 40 weeks.
But I'll tell you what, dude, this show did hook me enough with the characters for me to be like, I want to find out what happens. I want to know what the deal is with Marcus.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Another pleasant surprise. This and
Good.
Doom Patrol. I
So-
was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and we'll watch Doom Patrol. I love
Rick. This is Rick Remender.
Rick Remender.
He's a good
Remember,
writer.
he wrote the Avengers Incursion, the whole Incursion bit, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But I love that he's there on set. He wrote the first episode. This is coming straight from the creator, which I think.
Do you think they need to have more creators on set when they do this stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I don't know if Gerard Way is involved in Umbrella Academy, but Gerard Way also recently wrote Doom Patrol in their last reincarnation. But Grant Morrison also wrote Doom Patrol. But so do you get Grant Morrison? Do you get Gerard Way? I think it makes sense.
Bring Dan Slott on the next Spider-Man?
No, not that one. Anyone, everything with that. They've already done it. They've already gave us Into the Spider-Verse. They did it. That's because of Dan Slott, the Spider-Verse. Ruggs, would you want Dan Slott as a showrunner on a Spider-Man TV show?
I don't think he could hack.
No, I don't think. Remender, though, that's really, really talented. I mean, these are different disciplines that.
No, I think that's a ballsy move for Remender.
Yeah. So. But as the creator, I would at least want to be asked, or I would be like, look, I want to be involved because I know what this should be.
Look, I expected this show to be dog shit.
It wasn't.
But it wasn't.
No.
I was like, whoa. I was like, this is actually artistic.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the music. Maybe it's the cinematography. Maybe it's like the casting that's really good. And the fact that it's nostalgic to the 80s.
Yes, the music helps. Yes.
Even in the detail, like all the details in Wong's office and all that stuff.
The sets are great. Yeah.
It's cool. You know, you got fucking Henry Rollins is somebody that I loved from the 80s and
Black
90s.
Flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a great period piece, and similar to Umbrella Academy, I think that's also set in the 80s, and we're going to get more 80s music in that one. It's a whole trend of these non-superhero comics getting picked up that are really quality, and it's very exciting. It's more than just superheroes. Comics are. So I would recommend this. Check it out. It's sci-fi.
I mean, when they went, you didn't see the second episode, but I did.
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, Anthony didn't, but
Go ahead.
the second episode, it kind of goes in a weird. They leave. It's set in a different place than the rest of the show.
Yeah,
and that kind of, I think, weakens it a little bit. I was like, oh, I saw a little bit of a downgrade in that second episode, but then it does pick up, and then I'm still in.
Yeah.
I'm still in. Like, you know what it is? It's like when it goes to full on teen show.
Yes.
I don't like it.
It dips in and out of that, but then they always they use it well. There's a twist.
When I feel like I'm watching Gossip Girl,
right?
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check out.
For example, the twist I love with the girl from the Soto Vatos who was hitting on Marcus, and in a normal high school show, the girl would do that so that her boyfriend would be jealous and get mad. In this one, she literally wanted Marcus to kill her boyfriend.
Oh, shit.
That's why she was playing him. You cannot trust this girl because she will get you to kill someone.
What is the difference? The only thing this reminded me of Wanted. Is this going to be?
Yeah, it's a lot like Wanted.
That's Mark Millar is Wanted,
right.
but it is similar.
Where they pick some guy to kill people, and because he's got the knack for it, but he doesn't know he has the knack for it.
The Wanted movie and the Wanted comic are very different.
Oh, are they? See, I've only seen the movie.
Yeah, so the movie is more like the Deadly Class. The comic is a lot different. It's more about super villains.
Oh, okay.
And they had the Loom and whatever. This is like, it was straight up like the main character is the son of one of the world's biggest supervillains.
Right.
Like mass murderers of all time.
So they left that bit out.
Yeah. So it is kind of Wanted-y, but like it's crazy. It's a lot more of a superhero vibe.
Okay, because I could see this main character in Deadly Class.
It was like that kid, in the Wanted.
Ended up finding out at the end that Wong is the ultimate bad guy. So it's like in the movie Wanted, Morgan Freeman was the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read Deadly Class.
I haven't read it
maybe
either.
Everyone's read it and been like, you're a moron. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, which is fine.
No, I'm glad. So I haven't read, this Umbrella Academy, Doom Patrol. I'm kind of excited because I'm not familiar with these comics and I want to see it for the first time.
When I saw Deadly Class on the comic shelf, I was like, and I read, and I talked to the comic book store guy. He just said, "So what is this?" He said, "It's like Wanted, but with like more realistic." And I was like, I already read Wanted. I know that story. So I didn't want to read it, but now that I'm seeing it on TV, I'm like, it's not too bad.
Deadly Class still coming out monthly. They're on issue 39, so it's still an ongoing series. And another thing I loved in this episode was that conversation they had about comics in the car, which is because this is a conversation I've had in my fucking young when I discovered indie comics, where Marcus is like, I like the indie comics, Flaming Carrot, American Flag, and fucking Willie is like, fuck that, bro. Dark Phoenix Saga is the best shit ever. And he pulls a gun on him for disagreeing with him. It was fucking great.
Yeah, that's a great
I've
pull
had
right
that conversation, really.
Flaming Carrot.
Remember
though.
Flaming Carrot?
Was that good?
I don't know if it was good, but it was big indie. It was
American Flag was like a little bit more of a, I guess, provocative.
Well, Flaming Carrot was like, you had Cerebus, you had Flaming Carrot, Usagi Yojimbo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were all these anthropomorphized things, like whether they were animals or vegetables coming to life. That was a big trend.
The Tick.
Yes, you had like hamsters.
When is the Malarverse coming to Netflix?
Oh, very soon. They're working on many things.
That's what the first thing I thought of when I saw it. Like, this is what the Millerverse is going to be like.
They casted Jupiter's Legacy. They're working on these, so we can expect them soon, probably by the end of this year.
They got that other show that's coming on with the superheroes that are shitty with The Boys.
Oh, there's also The Boys on Amazon. Holy fuck, there's so many things.
Way too many things. Preacher, like, did you ever finish Preacher?
No.
Me neither.
I watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season, and now it's on season 3, and maybe I'll binge it at some point. I like it. And it's not that they're bad. Like, I like Preacher. Legion, they're going to have 3 seasons. I've only watched the first 1.5, but I don't have fucking time to watch all this. Also, there's a lot of things about assassins, too, lately. With your John Wicks and these other movies. I watched... I'm going to throw in, there was a commercial in the Super Bowl that really worked for me. I don't know if you guys remember. It was for a show on Amazon called
Hannah. I saw that.
Yes. Oh my God. They were like, this show's coming out in March. We have the first episode up for 24 hours. Totally worked on me. I watched it. This is actually really great too. It's based on a movie from 2011. Basically, it's about a girl being raised in the forest by her dad, and he's training her to be the world's greatest assassin. A 15-year-old. She could speak multiple languages. She knows how to hunt, how to kill people. And then stuff happens. She wants to leave the farm. It was really good.
But I think, if I remember the movie correctly, spoilers. I think that she's more than human.
Oh, really? She has special powers, huh?
No, I don't think she has powers, but she's just an augmented human, like Captain America.
Because this Deadly Class kind of reminded me of Hannah. It was like he's training her to be an assassin. When that comes out in March, I would check that out too. It was very good.
Yeah, but La Femme Nikita, that's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. Assassin shit is always good. Like John Wick, Anthony. We got to watch that for the Patreon. Another great assassin movie. And we will be talking shortly about another assassin movie in News from the Nation. All right, I think that's good. Everyone seemed to like it. I would recommend it. Check it out. I'm going to keep watching it.
Yeah, check out.
What made you want us to watch that?
Well, because there's a series of just shows based on non-superhero comic books. And the fact that Remender was also show running and writing. I heard some of the interviews on Collider Heroes. I was like, oh, this sounds pretty good. There's going to be a lot of shows that are coming. And I just wanted to check it out. So
I wish it wasn't on Sci-Fi. Go ahead. Sorry.
I actually started watching this before Imran suggested it. I was like, let me put this on. Yeah. And then I got about 15 minutes into it. And I was like, oh, this is good. And I don't have time to finish it. So let me put this away and watch it when I can really. Because what happens is there's a certain threshold of time. Like, if it's too late at night, I fall asleep as I'm watching something. Yeah. So as I put it on, I was like, I'm going to fall asleep watching this. So I forgot about it. And then Imran said, oh, you have to watch it. I'm like, perfect. I was going to watch it anyway.
Oh, good. See? So Anthony, to your point, you wish it wasn't on Sci-Fi. There is, the only thing holding it back, unlike any the shows on the streaming, is the fucking commercial breaks and how you got to write things and time things and break it up into acts. It definitely changes the pacing of a story when on the streaming apps, you don't need to work in breaks. You could just go straight through.
I don't have enough time to watch stuff.
I know.
I like just thinking about all the shows that I've just left in the lurch. So it's like right in the middle, like Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Check that out.
I have a couple of those too. I'm going to try to finish Narcos in between.
And now there's a new game coming out.
Yes.
And I got to start playing that.
There's not enough time.
That's the thing for me too, is especially with just life in general. For me to commit to doing another show or a show in general, I got to really think about it, and I got to be fully invested. That's the only thing about doing this is I want to watch the next episode, but I don't want to wait for the other episodes either.
Well, you can watch 5 of them.
How long is the season?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's
10 to 13 probably.
Okay. Well, you know what? Like Sci-Fi might be cranking out 30 of these. Who knows?
But it's quality from Sci-Fi, which is they are trying to make quality stuff.
Look, Sci-Fi used to be the fucking jam.
Yeah.
And then it just all of a sudden started sucking in the past like 5 or 6 years. And it's just been like completely dismal. So I'm glad they're doing something.
They had some good shit. Continuum was a great show. I miss it.
Yeah, I love Continuum.
Now, I also wish the DC Universe wouldn't do the weekly release because Hulu learned from the first season of Runaways. The second season, they put the whole thing out. Why DC Universe are you still continue to put things out once a week?
They don't have enough to fill.
No, I guess they don't. They're like, what else?
Keep people coming
What
back.
are people going to do if they watch all of it? But CBS All Access also does that, I believe, 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want to watch the Star Trek show. All right. Would you guys recommend? Yes, recommend?
Yes, recommend.
Yes,
So far,
check it out.
yes.
All right. Daily Class on Sci-Fi. All right, let's get to News from the Nation. I have a slightly modified, updated bumper. Listener, see if you can guess what's different. It's time for News from the Nation. It's time for News from the Nation. Oh, that felt good. Okay, I'm back. It's a little different. Rags, I was missing your wet fart, but that's all right.
I didn't know if you wanted me to do it.
Well, we got the clean flush. We'll add the wet fart live next episode. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Chaz Hebert checking in.
Jesus Christ. Did we just talk about that? All right.
Based on the toilet flush and the wet fart?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what we're going to try next time. All right.
Yeah, the wet fart. Based
Needs
on
more
our
wet fart.
Based on our last episode, Chaz Hebert says, Imran, absolutely apply for the comic store. Fucking do it.
Fucking nerd.
Look, if you heard, Ruggs, did you listen to the last episode?
No, not all the way through.
Okay, so there's a dude out here in the south side of Chicago in Oak Lawn, Carmelo Chimera, who is giving away one of his comic book stores for free to someone, and all you have to do is write a 500-word essay answering the question, what makes a great comic book store?
No.
First of all, Ruggs, do you think I should apply?
Do you want to?
I don't know. Here's the thing. This sounds like excuses. The fucking store is an hour south of me on the other side of the city, and this is an hour on the expressway. So there's going to be some traveling.
No.
If you did it, I would consider partnering with you.
But I will say this. All the support and the chirping I got on the Facebook group really made me want to apply it, because it's $25 to apply. It doesn't hurt to just send an essay, and I may or may not have started.
Is it in a good town or something?
Where's in Oak Park?
Oak Lawn, Illinois.
It's all right.
I think it's okay.
You gonna get jacked?
I don't know. I have to go down there. Look, I'm not going to
No one
win.
robs the comic book stores. Nothing to rob.
That's a good point. That would be a Kevin Smith movie. I would it doesn't hurt to apply. I'll pay the application fee just for shits and giggles. I may or may not have started a Google Word doc and typed in the title, what makes a good comic book store. And that's as far as I got.
All right. Well, this is the thing. So the store is for free, so you don't have to pay any rent.
No, but you do have to pay rent. He's giving you everything. You still have to sign the lease. And I watched a couple of his videos on the site. The other thing is you have to create a Diamond Distributor account. You don't get his account because it has to be to your name. Right. So there's a possibility they don't give you the account or whatever. He will transfer the title and everything over. You will have to pay the rent and continue like everything. There'll be a period of transition. We'll help you, whatever. But ultimately, he's just giving you not only the inventory, but the responsibility of owning a comic book store. So, Ruggs, real quick, let me ask you, if I was to ask you what makes a great comic book store, what would your answer be? Help me out on this essay.
What makes a great comic book store?
Yes.
It's the customers.
Yes. That's where my head was at.
It's the customers. If you have a good client base, you got people who come in there and that store lives. It's alive because of the people that go there. It's not anything that you can do, really. I mean, you get them. What you have to do is be knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And you have to try and stock the things that people are going to like and steer people into that. But the most important thing is that there is a community of people.
It's the community
that wants to be part of that place. And if you make it a place they want to come back to and hang out, that's also good. I love to go to my comic store and shoot the shit with the guy that works there.
It is about building a community similar to like we've done around the show.
Yeah.
Anthony, how would you answer this question?
Similarly, a good comic book store is about the people that are coming there and the people that are running it.
Imagine you did a podcast from there.
Well, this was it would be great. It could be the Jock and Nerd. It would be like what's the Kevin Smith's store?
The Secret Stash.
The Secret Stash, but this would be like Jock and Nerd comic book store. We could have a portion of it be a studio. We can record the podcast there. We can have a lot of fun. Secretly, I would love it. I think I will. Look, 500 words, I'll apply. Maybe I don't get it. I don't care. I don't think it hurts to apply.
No, it doesn't. Definitely doesn't hurt.
Right? We'll see what happens.
You can say no at the end of the day, too.
Right. It's not like if it gets to that point, I'm really going to have to make some hard decisions. Would I quit my job and just run this store full time? It would be like a TV show come true. We'd film it. It'd be great.
It also depends on if it's a viable business.
Yeah, that's the
like.
thing.
Well,
that's the only thing that I'm worried about because
we don't know the numbers. We don't know the numbers.
Local comic book stores that I know of are barely scraping by.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Well, why is he getting out of the business?
Well, so why?
I read it.
Yeah.
But why is he really getting out of it?
Well, until that's the thing. It's like, say he picks you, I'd be like, okay, show me the numbers. And then I'd be like, yes or no. You know, you'd want to see the numbers. How much does it cost? How much you're making on average? What is your inventory? Blah, blah, blah. But then you got to deal with shitty like Diamond distributors where they make you order all these books and you don't know if they're going to sell. And then you're stuck with them because they're forcing them on you. I don't know if I want to deal with that shit. But I would love to build a community and have a fun place to hang out. I'll keep you updated, listener. I still got time to turn in the application. Jess Rivera has a great question, guys. Zack Snyder cut of Justice League or Lord and Miller cut of Solo? Which would you want released and why? Who wants to go first?
I answered it on.
What was your answer?
I said Justice League Snyder cut, not because I particularly think it's going to be awesome, but I would just wanted to see what his fucked up vision would have played out like in a Justice League movie. Whereas Lord and Miller's Solo I never heard enough about it to even have any interest either way. I mean, it was going to be like a lot of improv, right?
It's going to be wacky comedy, I guess.
The Lego movie with Solo, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right with Anthony here.
Yeah, because remember the trailers? There was a lot of things in the trailers we never saw in the movie from the early trailers.
Solo.
So I'd want to see that.
Solo would have been really out of left field and not a movie that we would have enjoyed. Snyder's movie might not be enjoyable, but at least the mystery we'll know the answer to the mystery.
I think his cut of Justice League obviously would have been less vanilla. It would have elicited a strong emotion, whereas what Joss Whedon finished it up like it does nothing. It does nothing. No geek boner.
Would you rather be completely pissed off at the movie or like be like, who gives a shit? Like like you are with the Justice League?
Honestly, I'd rather be pissed off because at least I felt something then. Well, otherwise, what am I wasting my 2 hours for? For nothing? I don't know. On the other hand, Lord and Miller, they could have been a scene where Chewie has a whoopee cushion and uses it on Han Solo. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I think the Justice League, just out of pure intrigue of where the fuck he was going with that is my pick.
You know, was that Green Lantern reflecting in Alfred's glasses in that one fucking scene that was not in the movie? That was in Snyder's version. I
just want to see how fucking dark and weird it would have gotten because it probably would have made no goddamn sense. But
yeah, it would have been bleak.
Yeah.
Good question, though. Steve Lee, here we go. Another assassin movie. Anyone check out Polar?
Yeah, I saw it.
On Netflix. Never heard of it, but it popped up in my recommendations. Looks like a poor man's John Wick, maybe. Any insight would be appreciated. Thanks. I also watched this week recently. It's on Netflix. And you know what? It wasn't half bad. For Netflix, it's over the top.
It's not John Wick.
It's kind of a mishmash of tones, but it works better when it's like over the top, kind of crazy. Then it tries to be like serious. It doesn't really work.
Right.
Starring Mads Mikkelsen, and I like Mads in this. He's not bad.
Like Solid Snake.
Yeah. Anthony, the movie is similar like to John Wick. There's an assassin who's trying to retire, and it's great because in this organization you get a pension based on how many kills you made, right? Mm-hmm. So this guy's going to retire. This company's going to have to pay out $8 million, except the fucking company, what they decide to do for anyone with big pensions is they're like, look, we'll just kill him before he retires. That way we don't have to pay him the pension. Right. Sends a group of assassins after him. He meets a girl. There's a great twist. It's really good. I would check it out.
Made for Netflix?
Made for Netflix, made by Netflix, based on a comic book. from Dark Horse.
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a great movie, but I enjoyed it. It's a Netflix movie. It's a
Netflix movie.
Free.
Yes.
You just sit there, you watch it. It's like entertain yourself. There's some boobs in it.
Yeah, there's some new. It's more entertaining than Bird Box. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Some good contrived action. The comic book is cool too. I looked it up. It's similar to Sin City in style, black and white, very contrasty, but this one has one highlight color. So there's like a red highlight color going throughout the comic. Looks very cool. And Mads Mikkelsen is very good. Okay, let's move on to Joe Henry's comments. This is great because not only are all these TV shows out, there's a movie out that you may want to watch. It is Alita Battle Angel. Will be out now, opening right now. Joe Henry says, just saw Alita Battle Angel. It's way better than you can imagine. Must see.
Geek boner.
Holy shit.
I don't know if you can trust that one.
On Rotten Tomatoes, 59%. 6 out of 10 average rating. So, fellas, again, this is based on a manga. What are your thoughts? Do we want to review this? Are you interested in seeing this? It's getting mixed reviews.
I'm going to go see it
at
some point, maybe.
If you force me to go see it, I'll see it. Sorry, Ruggs.
Well, if we were to watch this, I would want to watch it for the next episode and do an Alita Battle Angel review while it's still fresh.
If I get the opportunity to go, I'll do it.
Yeah. We'll see. So
we'll talk about that.
They're expecting this thing to bomb. It's a $170 million production budget.
It's going to bomb.
And projected opening 5-day total about $23 million.
I heard that this movie is visually stunning.
Yeah.
But the relationships in this movie are whack.
Okay. It's got Christoph Waltz. You got Cameron producing and Rodriguez. Big names attached. It's female. It's a female.
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali is amazing.
Mahershala Ali. There you go.
Yes. You have a strong female character, even though she's a robot. And apparently the fans of this manga have been waiting for this for years, but it sounds like it's going to go the way of a Ghost in the Shell or a Valerian, unfortunately, and just kind of get buried and struggle to make any money. $170 million. It's not making that money back.
No, it's not making that.
I believe that this movie's better than both of those movies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, shit.
That'll be that.
Because Ghost in the Shell was a bore fest.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, but it was boring.
Yeah.
And Valerian was just like horribly written. So
Alita looks like it starts
had no star power.
It starts like really cool sci-fi and ends like rollerball. Like, what is all that fucking rollerball track shit at the end? It looks a little.
That's all in the anime. It's all in the manga.
Oh, it is. Okay,
yes, that's all. From what I know of the manga and the anime, that it sticks pretty close.
Yeah,
not like right on, but like it gets the essence of it.
All right. Well, look, Anthony, we may have to watch this. What do you think?
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing. I mean, I'm sure it might look really good.
Yeah.
In terms of being an interesting listen for our viewers, I don't know how many of these people are going to actually watch this.
No one's going to see it, and we got a lot of things coming up to review.
And I'd rather
a lot of people are going to be watching.
For the ones that are paying,
yes,
get to their reviews. So we'll see.
That's a good point, also. Yes, but I thought it was interesting. Joe Henry saw it early. Gives it a recommend.
I mean, from the previews, I was like, this looks intriguing for sure.
Yeah.
It just, I don't understand throwing that much money at it.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
I don't know how else you would make it look good with the way the main character is supposed to be, but that's a lot of money to invest in a project that I don't really know has much of a fan base.
Right.
That's 2018 thinking or 2019 thinking. But back in the old days, they just put out movies.
That's true.
They didn't have to worry about it. There's an installed fan base. Now that's the thing that we do now is like we try and capitalize, and we're trying to get to billions now. We're trying to get to $1 billion.
It's tough to create something that gets out of nothing that makes $1 billion.
See, for me, that's the old, the old Hollywood try. They just put it out there.
That was all.
Make it and do it.
That was all the 80s and 90s.
Let's make a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger is twins with Danny DeVito. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah, they didn't care.
You know, let's make him a cop,
Yes.
a kindergarten cop.
Why not?
And those are my favorite movies.
Let's stick
a good point.
Dennis Rodman in a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah. Hey, there's a mermaid that comes out. She's hot. Tom Hanks is in it. Make it happen.
Yeah, they just do it.
Just fucking.
No, that's the old way for sure.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
See this doll here? He's gonna be a fucking psycho killer.
They're
Trust
remaking
me.
that. Did you see
People,
that?
I know. I
Yeah.
never found him scary. He's a doll. I don't get it.
Hey, I'm scary when I want it.
Are you scary?
That first one for me was scary.
Yeah.
The subsequent
remember
films
it.
got a
Yeah.
little bit more
They got
ridiculous.
goofy.
You think I could kick Chucky's ass?
I think so.
That'd be a good. You
Rockboy
versus Chucky. And then if we wanted to really spice it up, we throw in the fucking leprechaun.
No. Warwick Davis?
Warwick Davis in his most famous role as the leprechaun.
That is not his most famous
Like,
role.
how tall is Chucky? I think I'm a little taller than it.
I think you might have the reach also.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, do we count the arm in your asshole, in your slack hole?
I don't know. I don't know
part
if
of
we're
the
counting
height.
the hand. No. That's cheating.
That's my operator.
The problem is Chucky is like a rigid molded plastic, and Ruggs is just felt and cotton. So like you can't let him connect. Like
Yeah.
that's all. You got to avoid any
You're gonna
kind of.
you're gonna have to bite his arm right off
yeah,
the bat.
yeah. You got to catch him off guard. Use.
Yeah, but my teeth are pretty deadly. Like
Okay,
my
there
breath
you
will kill
go.
him right
Yes,
there.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if Chucky is susceptible to bad
What do
breath.
you do? You shoot cotton at his face and then run and knock him over and stab this motherfucker.
I'll just fart on him.
There you go. That works too.
Yeah. Have some bed bugs, you fuck.
I got an email I'm going to share from our buddy Tane, Chocolate Tane, who we just said he's at the tier where he's going to come on the show. We're going to do some trivia. It's going to be a lot of fun, Tane. But he asked this: what comes next for Marvel movies, and how do they integrate the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and others? I think I have it. After the Avengers use the Quantum Zone to time travel, and Tony makes a different gauntlet, and Hulk wears it, and Cap lifts Mjolnir, and Thor defeats Eminem, and Nebula defeats Thanos, a new timeline will be created. Cue the Wowie Zowie.
Wowie Zowie.
And then it's going to be either Secret Invasion or Secret Wars. I hope for the latter for one reason. There is one man who makes Thanos look like one big bruise, who gives Galactus indigestion and a fucking hates Squirrel Girl. That's right. The greatest villain ever created in all of fiction. Victor Von Doom. Geek boner. Third time's a charm, they say. Later, turd sniffers. That's some chote.
Hey, I'm all about if they can get Victor Von Doom right on screen.
You don't need the Fantastic Four to introduce Victor Von Doom. He's amazing on his own.
I love that character.
So, like, Victor Von Doom just comes out of the ether, just out of nowhere.
I mean,
I don't know where he comes from.
So, Secret Wars, the comic, they did a part 2 of that.
Oh, the newer Secret Wars.
The newer
That's right.
Secret Wars,
Yes.
and the Beyonder was actually Victor Von Doom or something.
Well, it's Victor
like that.
Von Doom controlling Molecule Man, and he
Yeah.
would change reality.
Yeah. So he was the cause of all this stuff.
Oh, and what was his end game?
What was he trying to do?
What did he want?
What did he
Just wanted all of his competition dead.
He had
wanted to watch it.
He had realized. This is a very elaborate story, but he had realized that the world was coming to an end. So the only way to fix that was for him to become
the king, the god,
like basically a god to stop that. And he started making everything in the way he wanted it to be. And
that's when it broke up into different worlds, right?
He took pieces of different realities and combined it into an ideal world. And people realized, like, who the fuck is playing God? And it was Victor Von Doom. In his mind, he thought he was saving reality, but everyone was like, wait a minute, but you're now God.
Yeah, and they all realized that this is not what reality is, and he's fucked everything up. And in this reality, he fixed his face, so he was very handsome.
No, that's not. The ending is something along the lines of, I read this was a few years ago. Dr. Reed Richards confronts him and shows to him basically that his way isn't the best. There's a better way. And Reed Richards beats Victor Von Doom, but then he restores reality, and he restores everything in reality except Victor Von Doom's face. He makes it a good face again. And Victor Von Doom's like, oh, fuck, he is a good guy.
Oh, yeah, he leaves him with the good face.
He leaves him with a good face. So
and that was like the end of the Fantastic Four. Like they weren't
Yeah.
around for a while. They just coming
It was
back.
a good story.
It's a very good story.
Fucking crazy though.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and I don't see
tie-ins.
there's no way they're fucking doing that on film.
But Secret
Oh, my
Invasion,
God.
look, it's going to be about Skrulls. The Skrulls are going to be a big deal moving forward. Maybe Coulson is a Skrull. That's why he's dead. He's not dead. He's still alive. I don't know what the fuck. Somebody's a Skrull. It's going to be Skrulls. It's going to be Secret Invasion. Maybe.
Why does the Skrulls want to take over the Earth?
They're bored. I don't know.
Oh.
They ran out of fucking French fries on their planet. I don't know. There's better movies here. A whole host of reasons.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that it seems weird. Like, I understand if there's no other planets, but then you go in Guardians of the Galaxy, there's planets up the wazoo. There's gold people playing video games.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're playing video games while they're flying around.
Yeah. So
why wouldn't you want? Yeah, Earth sucks. Earth is usually in the way of big space battles, and it's just a fucking hindrance. You're like, these fucking Earthlings.
Yeah.
They still can't get their shit together. Get your shit together. All right, last thing in the news from the nation. As we mentioned, our new spinoff show is launched, Anthony.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Yes, he does.
I do.
So,
I do.
if
I've
you're
created
more than usual.
I created a little more things for me to do.
How did this happen? Why did this happen, Anthony?
All right, I'll give you the brief jock down.
Here's the rundown.
Here's the rundown.
So originally, well, I'm a big Joe Rogan podcast fan, is first off. I've always liked that format of just bringing on interesting people and talking without it being an interview, without really having any sort of idea of what you're going to talk about. You just bring on someone that does something and talk. So I've always liked that.
Right.
This show is fantastic. It doesn't really allow for that just because there's so much news to cover. So I was always kind of wanting to do something like that as well. And then on our Jock and Nerd Nation, I noticed that Humphrey Ching had some pretty strong opinions on Shang-Chi. So I was like, oh, this would be cool for Patreon if I just bring him on and we talk. And originally I was going to do like a debate about Shang-Chi, or we were just going to talk about a certain topic. And then I was like, all right, well, let's just talk. And I recorded it, and it was really just going to be for Patreon. And then I thought to myself, well, I want to do this with other people, but as much as I love Patreon, the appeal for someone to come and talk to me for an hour and be exposed to potentially 40 people.
Yeah.
And
when we have an actual audience.
And the fact that I would make people pay for that content and then not give any of that money to my guest felt kind of wrong for me. So I was like, well, we already have this format. We already have this audience. If Imran doesn't mind, we'll just throw it on there as a spinoff show. So that's how it evolved.
No, I kind of love the idea.
And now I have probably like 16 people that want to do it with me.
And it's
wow.
Yeah.
So if you're subscribed to the feed, you will have seen the last thing in the feed is the first episode with Humphrey Ching.
Artist Humphrey Ching.
Humphrey Ching.
I caught about like 40 minutes, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes of it. It's good.
All right, good.
I was going to get back and listen to the rest of it at some point. Maybe tomorrow.
There you go. I appreciate that.
I'm excited for this thing to grow. And I honestly, Anthony, I love having two different formats of show. Like the spin-off show will be raw, unedited, really straight to the point.
Pretty straight to the point. No extra fills, no sound drops,
no
really.
promos, no flashy
Nothing.
things. It's just what it is, which is completely different from what we do here. And that's great to have the variety. I like that you picked the intro music you picked. It's very aggressive, trappy. I think it's perfect.
It's dubstep.
Yeah. Oh, it's dubstep? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm proud of myself for picking two things that you like that were close.
You were good. You were good.
I nailed it.
I'm happy that you don't mind throwing it on.
I got to do a little bit of extra work, but I'm always going to make sure it looks good. Of course, I've made the logo. I want everything to look nice, and I like giving our listeners more content. There's nothing wrong with that.
I look
think
at
it's
it as
fantastic.
Jock and Nerd is like the mother.
Yeah.
Mothership. It's the crazy, wacky, insane show.
Yeah.
And then the other one's just the straight-laced.
This is,
show, so.
No, it's a great contrast, which leads us, we had a lot of interesting comments. You've had a lot of frequently asked questions. Let's start with this frequently asked question. The first, is Anthony leaving the show?
Oh, shit.
Comment.
Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Shit.
I am not leaving the show. This is the home base. I don't stray too far from the teat.
Good.
Imran's
I'm
teat.
pumped.
Yeah, me too.
Suckle up to the teat and we will all be plentiful in bounty. Frequently asked question number 2. The name. Spinoff show, really? I love it because it is the fucking perfect laziest name that a jock would come up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Perfect.
So
Yep.
I
was originally playing with like mano a mano or like some sort of thing, and I was like, wait a minute, like TV shows, they all have these spin-offs.
Yeah.
A lot of them, the successful shows have spin-offs, and they have to come up with a name. Well, what if the name was just the spin-off show?
The only thing that I don't like about it is that what if people think that you're a show about spin-offs?
Oh shit. I didn't think about that.
Well, what helps is this show is still in the feed for Jock and Nerd.
Right.
So if you can kind of put two and two together, you'll realize that it's a
you have Jock and Nerd branding on it.
Yeah, I put a little thing in the corner. Now, our buddy Matty J. Miller wants to help out with the name because we did ask the listener, hey, if you got any ideas for a name. He commented on Facebook, hey, Anthony, had some free time today, came up with a couple potential names for your new show. And by couple, he meant like 25.
Oh, shit.
Wow, put some thought into this.
I'm not going to read all these, but do any of these pop out to you? I kind of like some of them, like Legion of Jock. That's kind of funny.
Legion of Jock was good. Yeah.
Jock and Friends. That was the first one. I was like, oh, Jock and Friends.
I liked Irrelevant and Profound Opinions.
That's a pretty good one. Ruggs, you like any of these names?
I don't know.
Does it describe the show at all?
The thing is,
I'm reading them now.
He didn't know what the concept of the show really was, so...
Let me give you a couple. Look, some of these are just hilarious. I got to read off Jockathon, Talkathon, 2 mics and a jock, the articulate jock.
I like the TK alternative.
Like that.
TK alternative, the jock contemporary, and then some kind of mean ones like Dead Air Time and Jock Cause, Vitamin K. There's very well done, Matt Miller. Anthony Goes Pop. Or Anthony Does Pop. Like, these are great. Between Tony's Ears. Come on, some of these are funny. So, if we ever need a new name, we'll just refer to this
back to this list.
Okay, to close out the show, I got a bunch of podcast shout-outs. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of the Jock and Nerd family all over the place. First thing, check out Chaz.
Their bottom is very weak.
On the latest episode of Voice from the Underground podcast.
Geek Boner.
With Jason Dutch, TJ Johnson, Big Haas. I listened to it. It was very good. How crazy is it that Chaz was a listener? We didn't know him. He was a listener to the show. Goes on to do a sports show with Anthony and now is guesting on other podcasts. I fucking love that.
I think it's good. Like, I think that we have a good rapport with those guys and they enjoy us and I enjoy them. Whenever I do occasionally listen to Voice from the Underground, not all the way through, but like at least a good hour of, cause it's we do long shows. They do long shows. It's a lot of time to dedicate and, you got to have like a lot of car time and listen to this shit.
Thriving time. Chaz, good for you, Chaz. You did. Yeah, you did a good job. I'll put a link in the show notes. You could check me out on the latest episode of this podcast called My Worst Holiday, which is a show all about people's worst like trips or funerals or birthdays, just worst stories. And I shared, of course, the hilariously embarrassing G-Fest 2016 story.
Oh, shit.
Where I broke some shit and then had to pay for it.
Yeah.
So that's always a great story.
Anthony was macking on girls.
Anthony, was checking out
on the only girls that were probably at G-Fest.
There was but they were
cute girls.
You know what?
And he was successful.
Shout out to Jay and Mark on that show for having me on, and they were surprised that I was like, there was cute girls at the Godzilla convention.
You sound like you're on a 1972 rotary phone, by the way.
Yeah, I was calling through the landline, I guess, on their speakerphone for the Panasonic. I don't know. Good stuff. On the next episode of the spinoff show, Anthony already mentioned Ginger Geek, Matt Talhauer. So you want to subscribe to the feed. It will be right here in the feed, halfway between this show and the next show. And
won't spoil what we talk about.
No,
we talk about some shit.
All right, no, I'm looking forward to that one. And the trivia podcast that I host, Trivia Geeks, over at the Blazing Caribou Studios, is starting up a new season. New shows are coming out. Again, this is a show where I was a contestant, then I was a captain, and then they're like, you want to host this show? I was like, oh, why the fuck not? So it's fucking wacky and wild and a lot of fun. And you can be on the show. We need people in March. So I'll put a link in the show notes to book if you're a podcaster. It's really a place where podcasters come to promote themselves, have fun. The points don't matter because I'm bad at math. So.
Jock and Nerd.
No.
And again, I'm going to repeat, follow us on Instagram at Jock and Nerd.
Whoa.
Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You could find me. I'm going to be launching my own show. No, I'm kidding. If I do a rug down, it'll just be like a Matt Delhauer thing where he just talks into the mic by himself, analyzing some bullshit.
It'll be essay. It'll be essay based.
Yeah, I'll do it like sporadically, like maybe once or twice a year. It depends if I have time.
I liked your Comicsgate piece. That was very good.
I just need to get amped up about something enough to like figure out an opinion and express it. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can always get my opinion on Twitter, where I just spout it out all the time at Really Rug Boy on Twitter. So just come by and check that out.
Absolutely. And last thing, it's still really cold outside. And we have another sale at our shop at jockandnerd.com shop. Get a hoodie. February 20th to 24th. Ooh. Hoodies are $35 only.
You too can look like Eminem.
You can look like Eminem with Rug Boy all over your face and chest, keeping you warm. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Share the show, listener. Help us grow. Tell a person. That's all we ask. But thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
I gotta send you pictures of my filthy penis.
Get your hand off my penis! My balls was hot. Jock and Nerd.
What was that? Wait, I zoned out.
I completely zoned out as well. You should play that song. I'm blue.